Hello, this is Kenosis. It is acrylic with a thickness of 20 millimeter. I bought 900 millimeter multiply 1800 millimeter acrylic for around $200. Actually, it's a very expensive material, but I use it for beautiful works. The cut size is 660 millimeter multiply 920 millimeter. Process the aluminum rail to be installed on the top plate. It is a rail for using the rail of the fence and various jigs. The motor was ripped from the existing router table. I'm thinking of installing the motor directly on the acrylic without using the top plate where the motor is fixed. 연필이 안 들어와서 잘랐습니다. 그래. As I turned over the acrylic plate, I drilled the part to fix the motor in the opposite direction. But I decided to put a walnut wood there and print my logo on fire. If you look at it later, it looks pretty. The wood at the front is a hole where the bit for height adjustment goes in, and the back is where I'm going to take my logo. I dug a groove with the router to make the front of the bit drawer into a rolling door. Prepare 2 colors of wood and cut it 20 millimeters wide and 290 millimeters long. The thickness is 12 millimeters, and I drilled a hole on the side. Arrange the prepared woods and attach a thin cloth to the back. I use regular bonds for this operation. It moves well when it is inserted into the hole of the wood. And I applied oil. Install the handle. Assemble the lower drawer. It is carefully designed to fit the intermediate plate well. Assemble the rolling door that I made while inserting it. I can't attach the plate to the back yet, so I fix it temporarily. I installed a rail and put in a drawer. I've made 5 drawers in total. The rolling door opens and closes smoothly. However, when I opened it, it was not fixed, so I solved it by mounting a magnet. It's multi-stage bit storage that I made in the previous video. This piece can be viewed by clicking the top right link. Install the handle to use the multi-stage bit storage itself as a drawer. Install the drawer rail. To turn on the LED light here, let electricity flow through the drawer rail itself. It's very convenient because you don't need an electric wire. It is a very useful tip when installing the back in the drawer. Please remember this tip. Electrical wires are also installed on the rails to be installed in the drawer. As I said, this will light up the LED simply by inserting the drawer. The wood pin prevented the pieces on the floor from being seen. Create a drawer handle. I made it pretty using two types of wood. Create the front of the drawer and attach the handle. Install the light at the bottom. Indirect lighting is used to prevent LED lights from coming directly into the eye. When I turned on the light, it was very clean. I made a door with acrylic at the front to control the motor. It can be easily opened and closed using magnets. I dug holes with a router to organize the wires and organize them neatly. Install wheels for ease of movement. This wheel can be fixed. Install the reed switch to allow the LED to illuminate when opening the bit drawer. When the drawer is closed, the light is automatically turned off. Electrical work is a complex and time-consuming task. The explanation is difficult, so I skip the process. Install the switch box. It is equipped with a power switch, a rotor motor switch, and a switch to turn on and off 3 LEDs. The LED switches turn on and off the lights of the fence, lower cabinet and bit drawer, respectively. It's very clean because the wires are covered with boxes. Organize the edges of the top acrylic. Use a router and a pneumatic chamfer. pierce a 5mm piece hole to be secured to the lower drawer, and the wood was drilled with 4.2mm. This is to ensure that the bits are tight. Sand the corners with 600 grit sandpaper. Finally, I rip off the vinyl on the acrylic surface. Acrylic work seems to exist for this moment. The clean side is very beautiful. A new motor has arrived while working on it. Anything new always feels good. I fixed it to the upper plate and fixed the electric wire of the motor. And I installed the main power line. Connect the fence's dust collection tube to the motor room, and underneath it I drilled a hole to connect the dust collection tube. This is to collect the motor room and fence at the same time with one dust collection tube. It is made of acrylic so that the fence can also be illuminated. This is why the fence switch was installed separately. When working, I thought it would be pretty if the lights were not on the lower part and only the fence was lit. The aluminum fence has a hole, so it is blocked with a thin PP to prevent damage to dust collection. Install the LED on the fence, it's beautiful. Insert a dust collection tube into the fence. Let's use an iron tie. It is convenient to use a dedicated plier. The acrylic on the fence moves according to the size of the router bit. At this time, the wire was made like an iron spring and put inside an acrylic tube to prevent the wire from being messy. The wires move neatly because of the tension. I think this method can be useful in many places. If you're worried about messy wires, please remember. There was not enough space to put the acrylic tube containing wires, so the aluminum fence was processed with a milling machine. The size fits very well. Organize the wires and connect them to the wire springs I made. I like it very much because the wires are not messy when the LED is on and the acrylic on the fence is moving. Make rails to move the fence back and forth. To match the height, 4mm wood was added. Insert the rail and move the fence. It moves smoothly and secures strongly. Install the back plate of the drawer. Prepare the gasket to be installed on the top of the drawer. Use thin PO fabric. There's no dust between the motor room and the bit room, and the shaking of the acrylic top can be minimized. I've made 3 sizes of inserts. Four magnets are placed in the insert so that it can be attached to the magnets in the upper insert hole. Be careful of polarity when using magnets. Magnets fixed with instantaneous adhesives in a 5mm hole can never be taken out. Secure the top plate with bits. And when I insert it, it is stably fixed with a magnet. It's complete. The fence lights up and the lower part is also illuminated indirectly. The bit drawer automatically turns on when I take it out. The switch box also has a very pretty LED switch color. I'm sure there are people who are worried about scratches. Of course, there will be scratches. However, the top plate can be easily removed, so it would be good to make it translucent later. A machine that looks good will also increase work efficiency. In particular, there are many useful tips everywhere in this work. I hope you will pay attention to it and refer to it when you make your work. If you enjoyed watching the video, please subscribe, like, and sign up for membership. Membership registration is very helpful for good videos. Thank you.